Yep.
All right, so this is the uh, second movie in the MCU timeline. This is Incredible Hulk.
Yep.
Uh, this movie came out in what, 2008,
2008. Yeah.
so almost 20 years ago. Um, it's one of the less popular MCU movies, so it's probably one that people haven't really seen since it came
Hmm.
out. Had a lot of is one of the ones that was the victim of the most industry drama when it was getting made. Um,
Yep.
uh, if you don't know all about that drama, the quick notes is uh, Edward Norton tried to fight the director and turn the movie into something that he liked better. Um, and behind the scenes, there was the creative committee, I think they were called, which is when Marvel used to have a head that was like a penny pinching, Toronto dump wannabe, um, who was basically making everything hell for the people that were making the movies. And they used to have a lot of control. And this is one of it. They had super control over every movie, I think, until the first Avengers. So a, a lot of people are getting pulled in a bunch of different directions. So actually, it's amazing that any of these first movies even got made, or got released in a workable state. You know what I'm saying? um, yeah. So why don't you give us a little like quick breakdown of the plot of the movie, spoiler free?
All right. Okay. Spoiler free as I possibly can. All right. So there's this dude, right? His name is Bruce. You may know him. You may know him as Hulk. You may not. So anyway, uh he you can tell he's in hiding. I'm not gonna like spoil like locations or anything. I mean, it's gonna be pretty obvious. But he's on the run, and eventually he gets found out. Like the government eventually find out his location, try to get him, and he runs away. Like, and the movie is essentially, oh, they found me. All right, I got away. Oh, they found me. Okay, I got to get away.
Right.
Right, and again, I can't without spoiling anything. That's really the like 75% of this movie is, I'm running, I'm hiding. Oh no, they found me again.
You could tell him
Which
why he's running and hiding.
yeah. He's like, well, he's running because he does not want what he is to become a weapon for the government because he knows that's what they want because they've told him point blank. They don't tell him in the movie. That's kind of like uh, it's like a throwaway line in there that yeah, they told me what they want to do. You hear it from him himself of they told me they want to do this and I refuse to let that happen. Basically,
That's only a throwaway line, assuming that you didn't watch the Hulk movie that came out before
like
this. Which,
yeah, we'll get to that.
yeah, so this movie is a direct sequel to that previous Hulk movie from like 2003, something like that. It had Eric Bana was the Hulk, and it was a very strange movie. But yeah, so a lot of references are made to things that happened in that movie. Which, if you didn't watch that movie, that's why they put the reference in there. So
Hmm.
you're caught up. He does know that the the military is trying to. Uh, they know that it made a weapon. They don't know how to control it, but Bruce is the only one that survives. So get him back and study him is the goal.
Hmm.
So that's the basic premise of the movie. Um, so what did you think of it? In both in terms of the movie itself as a semi origin story for the Hulk,
Hmm.
and um, where it fits in the MCU.
Okay, so where it fits in the MCU, I do think it fits quite well. It's literally the second movie in the timeline, so we don't. So people don't even know that this is like a whole thing yet until like the very, very, very last scene. Which again, I'm not gonna spoil it. Just in case somebody didn't watch this 17-year-old movie. But because we're still in like the introductory phase of everything. We're still being introduced to characters. As far as the movie in itself, I think its main thing, the main thing that I always like throughout watching it, the thing I always felt was they definitely wanted me to watch the other movie first. The moment where he explains that they told him they want to make what he is into a weapon. There's a throwaway line about a necklace that really sounds like a very important detail, but it is like again, it's just another throwaway line, which is wow, that is kind of a big deal to just kind of drop on you. But it's just the it's just treated like a side thing. Like that's a thing that happened, and we are quickly moving on.
Right.
So yeah. So that's really like my main takeaway is that without that other movie, this one does kind of fall flat because if you don't have that context, then you're going to be kind of lost. You can follow along the events of the movie just fine, but they pass right over important details.
Okay. I don't necessarily agree with that, but I can see what you're saying. A lot of the problems that people claim to have with the MCU is that it makes references to things that happen and all that, and they feel like it's forcing them to do homework, to have to go and watch every scene of everything that came before to be able to appreciate it. And that's not how it works. That's not how comic books work.
Right.
That's not how these movies based on comic books work. You just watch them, and if I think they're more like little Easter egg nuggets for super fans who remember every line of dialogue and every scene and are like, yeah, that's cool, I remember that. But if you don't, then you just know that this is a necklace that was special to her and Bruce didn't want her to give it up.
Yeah.
You know what I
Like
mean?
he literally says that's the last thing you have from her.
Right.
Which told me, it's probably from her mother. She's probably died.
Right.
Like so, yeah, I pieced that together. But it's like that's kind of like a big piece of information. That's kind of like an important detail that we just skimmed right over.
Right. I get what you're saying. But to me, because I don't include that first Hulk movie as a part of the MCU, I'm okay with just leaving it as it's a reference that just is out there, but I don't need to know what it's referencing because I don't consider that first movie, a part of the, the whole lore.
My problem. Thing is, there's a difference between you not caring about the details and the movie saying, "Hey, there are some details here."
Yeah, I get you.
Yeah.
For me, I feel like the movie feels like it's going in several different directions throughout the course of the movie, which I think is pretty. It's what's going to happen when you got so many cooks in the kitchen trying to make the decisions of what the movie's going to be. The first part of the movie, like the first third, feels like a Jason Bourne movie. As a person is like, it's got the kind of music and everything where he kind of making deals in the shadows, trying to stay one step ahead of the law and everything. And then as Hulk starts to appear in Hulk form throughout the rest of the movie, the problem with Hulk as a character is just like with Superman, right? The character's too powerful for the stuff that they put him against. Although this is a severely toned down version of the Hulk. Because he's new, so, it's okay for him not to be as strong as he will eventually wind up being. But in this movie, he's neither as angry as as he is in his future appearances, and he's not as strong as he is He's
Yeah.
completely invincible in his future
Yeah.
appearance. The Hulk versus the soldiers at the beginning of this movie shouldn't have even
Hmm.
been a slight issue. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But I think this is another reason why it works so well in the MCU to have
Hmm.
all of these heroes in the same world with each other. Because Hulk
Yeah.
standing next to Thor for most of his appearances in the MCU makes sense. They're on similar power levels, you know what I'm saying? And they're always arguing about who's the strongest. Makes sense. But Hulk against, cops and soldiers and stuff makes no sense. Everybody's gonna die. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Like, yeah, there's nothing they could do.
Right,
And it's literally shown that, hey, like, you're not even like piercing the skin
right,
of the Hulk. Like, there's literally nothing you can do.
right. And I don't wanna harp on these special effects. I think they're good for the time that they were in.
Yeah.
I mean, like you like to see the Hulk in the movie, but in this base form, the way they have him here, base form Hulk doesn't even have a personality, so it's not something that you can have in the movie that much. It's just he's just mad. Well, in this movie, he's not even that mad. He even
No.
like in Hulk forms like does a little sigh, like oh, I still gotta fight this dude. You know what I'm
You're like,
saying?
yep. Yeah. It's yeah. In this movie, he's not like going on a rampage.
Yeah,
It for the sake of going on a rampage. It's more like, hey, leave me alone. Go away.
yeah. He's
I just don't want to be bothered.
in a way that's good because he does Hulk does have several personalities, goes through several changes in the comics,
Yeah.
but it is good to see it's good to see growth because a lot of people think that they've been watching these movies for so long they have an idea of what a person's supposed to be like they have an idea of what Tony Stark is, they have an idea of what Chris Evans did with Captain America, and they don't
Yeah.
realize that over the course of 15 years they subtly changed and grew as characters.
Yeah.
Even if you
Hmm.
didn't notice it, they did. Well, the Hulk did too, starting here and then moving to Mark Ruffalo's version where he's more confident. He can change at will. He knows he can change at will. He knows he can survive pretty much anything. So he's more confident, and when he gets angry, he's actually angry and lost his mind as opposed to just a slightly bigger, super strong version of himself. He's not
Yeah.
Bruce when he's the Hulk. You know what I mean? They actually
Yeah.
have a contentious relationship in the
Yeah, yeah,
MCU.
yeah. A lot of people don't realize that they're two separate entities.
Yeah,
Like they're not the same person.
yeah,
So can I touch on one point real
yeah,
quick?
yeah.
Something you said a little bit ago. So you said like Hulk going against the soldiers is basically like akin to like Superman, which I completely agree. Like you have this near indestructible being against regular people. What do you do?
Right.
The only thing that I wanted to say is that I think the biggest thing that that this movie treats going as a Hulk is as not a good thing. Like no, this is horrible. This is worst possible scenario. We don't want this. And I think that's what makes it work. Is that he's not being this big indestructible being because he wants to. It's because, the government drew it out of him. And now we see the consequences of it.
Yeah, yeah. So, all in all, the it's one of the first origin movies, so it knows, in my opinion, just my humble opinion, those are the MCU movies that I like the least, are the earliest ones, because I
Yeah.
felt like they were still getting their footing, and they were more a part of what old Hollywood used to do, all the prejudices and racisms and all the stuff that they used to do is all in those coloring those earlier movies. And by earlier movies, I'm including like the Fox X-Men's and the Sony Spider-Mans with Tobey Maguire, all that stuff together. The reason why they never worked well and didn't work together is because of all the creators wanted to make movies, but they didn't necessarily want it to make the movie that the characters of the comics were needed. Like, for example, like you're gonna make an X-Men movie where you in the movie you make an insult to their costumes and have them all wear black leather because that's not
Yeah,
what you wanted to
yeah,
see. You know what I mean?
like yeah, yeah, like yeah. They didn't like the costumes. Like it's not gritty enough.
Right.
It's not
They
edgy
didn't
enough.
know. I guess they didn't know, they didn't have the creativity to know that you don't have to make something dark to make it cool. You just have to you have to be you don't even have to make it exactly the same as it is in the comics. You can change it a little, but you still have to have the essence. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? You don't take
yeah,
Daredevil, who is completely red and has little devil horns and two D's on his chest. You don't. That's a pretty basic
yeah,
description. You don't need to change him into black leather. You know what I'm saying? In order for him to be cool, he's cool the way he is. Just leave him alone and just
yeah.
get his character right. So at least there's a lot in this movie that shows that they cared about getting the character of Hulk right. Did they completely knock it out the box? No, but they tried. They did a good enough job. So here's where we get to the score. So it'll be, since there's two of us, we'll be doing. Each one of us can award up to 5 points. So what are you gonna give?
Okay. We can't just do like individual scores out of 10 and then you do the math that way. We can't do that, huh?
No,
No. All right. Well,
no.
in that case, all right, in that case, I'm
Well, you're doing your individual score out of 5.
okay. Well, that's better. At least it makes more sense than 3 1/3.
Well, we got 3 people. I don't know what you want me to do.
Not what you've been
It
doing.
did it work or not? No, I didn't. I
No,
didn't.
technically, no,
No, it
because
did work.
you
All of
didn't even
those
get to 10. You
all
got
of
to
those
nine point
scores,
nine 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 nine
all
nine
of
nine
those
nine nine
scores.
nine
Yeah, but
nine.
nothing we was rating was a 10, so it didn't matter.
Oh my god. Okay. Okay. If I was going to give it a score, I would give it a 2.79.
Oh my god! You can give it a half a point. Stop with the 2.79s.
No, no, that's my score.
No. All right,
That's my
we're gonna
score.
round that to 3. So
If I wanted to give it a 3, I would have gave it a 3.
no. Okay, so he gives it a 3
No, I
because
don't.
yes, you do. You said
No, I
2.79.
don't.
2.8
Yeah.
rounds up to 3. Okay,
No, 2.79 rounds to 2.8.
rounds to 3. All right.
I'm not giving it 3. The integrity of the score is tainted.
Okay, you give it a 2.8. 2.8?
All right. 2.8.
Okay. I will give it let's say out of 5. I will give it an exact middle, 2.5. I believe it is thoroughly average, but that's not a bad thing. Especially not in the beginning and what they were working with, what they were trying to do. So they get a what? 5.3 as a total.
Yeah. Yeah. It'll be
5.3.
5.3.
Yeah, that's pretty average for the type of movie that it is, for both how good the movie is and where it sits like legacy as far as the MCU as a whole goes.
Yeah.
That's about where it is. Average. Slightly above average.
Yep.
All right. So what's next?
What is next on the list?
What's next is Fury's Big Week, which I think it includes Iron Man 2, Captain America, and Thor. And because all 3 of those
Yeah.
movies happen chronologically within like a week of each other.
Yeah.
But on Disney Plus, when you look at the timeline version of the list of MCU movies, it'll tell you which one is actually first. I don't know. I don't have mine listed like that.
All right. Well, we're not doing chronological.
Yeah, but it'll tell you which one. Well, I guess whichever one released first.
Yeah. Yeah. So the next one is Iron Man 2.
All right, cool. All right, Dan. We'll catch you next week.
See ya.
Iron Man 2. Peace.